It's like the hat's in the way. And then I go, okay, baby. And I go,
October 11th, 2025 will forever be marked as the day the world lost one of cinema's most original voices. At 79 years old, Diane Keaton's heart stopped beating. But the impact she made on film, fashion, and what it means to live authentically will echo for generations. This isn't just another celebrity obituary. This is the story of a woman who refused to play by anyone's rules but her own. Leave a comment below and tell us which Diane Keaton project you liked the most. Are you enjoying this story about Diane Keaton? Then help the channel grow by subscribing. Look, 94.8% of the people who watch these videos are still not subscribed to the channel. If you're part of that group, take the chance and subscribe now. It's free. And that way you'll keep receiving amazing stories from TV shows we still miss a lot. Oh, and don't forget, at the end of the video you'll find more stories like this one. Picture Los Angeles in 1946. A baby girl is born to a civil engineer father and a creative mother who loved music. That girl, Diane Hall, would grow up to become the Diane Keaton we all know, taking her mother's maiden name as a tribute to the woman who first showed her the power of art. Growing up in Santa Ana, California, young Diane immersed herself in theater and music during high school. She even tackled the challenging role of Blanche Dubois in Tennessee Williams' A Streetcar Named Desire, unknowingly preparing herself for a lifetime of complex, fascinating characters. After briefly attending college, she made a decision that would change everything. She packed her bags and headed to New York City to chase her dreams on the stage. Broadway became her training ground. In 1969, she landed a spot in the revolutionary musical Hair, but fate had bigger plans. When she was cast in Woody Allen's comedy Play It Again, Sam on Broadway, something magical happened. Not only did audiences fall in love with her quirky charm, but she and Allen began a romantic relationship that would influence American cinema for decades. Even after their love affair ended, their creative chemistry remained explosive, producing some of the most beloved films ever made. Hollywood came calling in 1972, when director Francis Ford Coppola needed someone special to play Kay Adams in The Godfather. Diane brought a quiet strength to the role, portraying a woman who falls in love with Michael Corleone, played by the intense Al Pacino, only to discover the dark world she's entered. She returned for The Godfather Part 2 in 1974, showing Kay's evolution from naive outsider to a woman finally understanding the monster her husband has become. These weren't flashy performances, but they were deeply affecting, providing the emotional and moral center of one of cinema's greatest sagas. Then 1977 happened. Annie Hall wasn't just a movie, it was a cultural earthquake. Woody Allen created a romantic comedy unlike anything anyone had seen before, breaking traditional narrative structure, speaking directly to the camera, and at the center of it all was Diane as Annie Hall, a character so real, so relatable, so utterly charming that she won the Academy Award for Best Actress. But Annie Hall gave the world something else too, a fashion revolution. Those oversized blazers, the neckties, the men's trousers, the fedoras and bowler hats weren't costume designer choices. They were Diane's actual clothes, her personal style that she'd been wearing for years. Suddenly, women everywhere realized they didn't have to dress to please men or follow fashion rules. They could dress for comfort, for themselves, and still look absolutely incredible. Diane became a style icon by simply being herself. Her partnership with Woody Allen produced 8 films together, including the visually stunning Manhattan in 1979, The Dramatic Interiors in 1978, and Manhattan Murder Mystery in 1993, which reunited them after years apart. Their on-screen magic never faded, even as decades passed and their lives took different directions. Diane also defended Allen during his controversies, a stance that remains one of the more debated aspects of her legacy. But Diane Keaton was far more than Woody Allen's muse. In 1981, Warren Beatty cast her in his passion project Reds, an epic about American journalist John Reed and the Russian Revolution. Diane played Louise Bryant with such depth and nuance that she earned her second Oscar nomination. During filming, she and Beatty fell in love, adding another chapter to her romantic history with Hollywood's leading men. She also had a serious relationship with Al Pacino, though he reportedly refused to marry her despite their connection. These high-profile romances made tabloid headlines, but Diane never let them define who she was. The 1980s were quieter for her career, but the 1990s brought a resurgence. Father of the Bride in 1991, and its sequel showed her comedic timing in a more mainstream setting. The First Wives Club in 1996 became a phenomenon, celebrating female friendship and revenge against cheating husbands. That same year, she earned another Oscar nomination for Marvin's Room, playing a cancer patient opposite Meryl Streep and a young Leonardo DiCaprio. This dramatic role proved she could break hearts just as easily as she could make audiences laugh. Then in 2003, director Nancy Meyers gave Diane one of her most iconic later career roles in Something's Gotta Give, playing a successful playwright who falls for Jack Nicholson's character. The film celebrated older women's sexuality, intelligence, and continued capacity for romance and passion. Diane earned her 4th Oscar nomination and won 2 Golden Globes for this performance. She and Meyers, who became close friends over nearly 4 decades, collaborated multiple times, creating films that showed the world that women over 50 still had compelling, complex, beautiful stories worth telling. What truly set Diane apart was her personal life choices. In an industry obsessed with marriage and traditional family structures, she chose never to marry. She stated clearly that being a wife simply wasn't something she wanted. When she was 50 years old, she adopted her daughter Dexter, and later her son Duke, becoming a single mother by choice. She described motherhood as something she'd thought about for a very long time, before finally taking the plunge. By living on her own terms, refusing to conform to societal expectations, she showed millions of women that happiness doesn't require following a prescribed path. Behind the cameras and red carpets, Diane fought private battles. She struggled with bulimia for years, later speaking openly about being an addict in recovery with an addictive nature. During her worst periods, she consumed enormous amounts of food only to purge it afterward. She also battled cancer twice, first basal cell carcinoma in her 20s, then squamous cell cancer decades later that required 2 surgeries. She attributed these health challenges to family history, but faced them with characteristic determination and honesty. Recent years saw Diane continuing to work and delight audiences. She appeared in Book Club and its sequel, films celebrating older women's friendships and continued vitality. Her final film role was in 2024's Summer Camp alongside Kathy Bates and Alfre Woodard. She even appeared in Justin Bieber's music video for Ghost in 2021, proving she remained relevant and open to new experiences across generations. In 2017, the American Film Institute honored her with their Lifetime Achievement Award. Woody Allen presented it, joking affectionately about her eternal style. Instead of making a traditional acceptance speech, Diane sang Seems Like Old Times, the song she'd performed in Annie Hall 40 years earlier, bringing the entire room to tears with the beauty and poignancy of the moment. Friends noticed changes in Diane's final weeks. Songwriter Carol Bayer Sager saw her roughly 3 weeks before her death and was shocked by how much weight she'd lost, how thin she'd become. Diane had left Los Angeles earlier in the year when wildfires damaged her home, relocating temporarily to Palm Springs while repairs were made. On Saturday morning, October 11th, emergency responders rushed to her Los Angeles residence after receiving a call about a person down. She was transported to a hospital but couldn't be saved. No official cause of death has been released, leaving the world to mourn without complete understanding of what took her from us. The tributes poured in immediately. Nancy Meyers wrote that she lost not just a brilliant collaborator, but a friend who sometimes felt like a sister. Keanu Reeves, her Something's Gotta Give co-star, called her a total professional, generous, and very special. Woody Allen wrote that grammatical rules ceased to exist when describing Diane Keaton. Reese Witherspoon, Jane Fonda, Steve Martin, Bette Midler, and countless others shared memories and grief. Social media exploded with fans sharing favorite scenes, quotes, and personal stories about how Diane had influenced their lives. Diane Keaton showed us that being different isn't a weakness, it's a superpower. She proved that women can age beautifully without surgery or pretense, that intelligence and quirkiness are attractive, that you can be vulnerable and strong simultaneously. She accepted people exactly as they were, while showing everyone her authentic self without apology. Unlike many artists with strong personal visions who can seem judgmental toward those who don't share it, Diane combined her distinctive style with warmth and kindness toward everyone she met. Her legacy lives in every frame of film she graced, in every woman who wears menswear-inspired fashion, in every person who chooses their own path, despite pressure to conform. Young people discovering her films today will see performances that feel timeless and fresh. They'll learn that it's okay to be nervous, to stutter through sentences, to dress strangely, to not fit the mold. They'll see that authenticity beats perfection every single time. Leave a comment below and tell us which Diane Keaton project you liked the most. Are you enjoying this story about Diane Keaton? Then help the channel grow by subscribing. Look, 94.8% of the people who watch these videos are still not subscribed to the channel. If you're part of that group, take the chance and subscribe now. It's free. And that way you'll keep receiving amazing stories from TV shows we still miss a lot. Oh, and don't forget, at the end of the video you'll find more stories like this one. Diane Keaton deserved every accolade she received during her remarkable 79 years. But beyond the Oscar, the Golden Globes, the AFI honor, and the countless other awards, she deserved to be celebrated for something even more important, teaching us how to be ourselves without apology, how to live with integrity and joy, how to age with grace and humor, and how to leave the world more interesting than we found it. She accomplished all of that and so much more. Rest peacefully, Diane. Your light will never dim. You showed us the way and will carry your lessons forward. Thank you for everything. You were truly, impossibly, wonderfully unique.